What's up, you guys? SlimXTeamSymmetry here to bring you guys a new video today. Here to talk about what I feel is the top 5 decks of the current format here in Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been getting a lot of requests for this lately, to make a video on this, to give my opinions on what I feel the current format is like right now. Usually I would do this video behind the camera. The thing is I don't actually have a lot of these cards anymore. Like, I never actually had Prophecy, I haven't had Evilswarm yet, and I got rid of my water deck a while ago. So I felt that if I'm gonna talk about what I feel the meta is like, I should just do it via DN, since you're able to find pretty much all the cards that you would need to talk about. I feel that this format is it's pretty linear, to be honest. Last format, a lot of decks topped, a lot of decks won events, a lot of decks that people didn't expect to do well did do well, and now we're shifting more into what I feel is like a really linear meta. A lot of people have been using that term, and I'm using it too, because if you look at how the impact of the new Dragon Rulers has had, like the impact it's had on the game, it's been ridiculous. You know, it's been winning left and right. It's only been out for a little over a week. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And a lot of other decks got support. So I'm just going to start with the very basics. The number one deck right now, without a doubt, is Dragon Ruler. I'm always going to call it E-Dragons. Dragon Ruler just sounds weird to me. I understand why they call it that, but still, it's odd. If I ever gave a profile on it, I probably wouldn't call it Dragon Ruler. But that aside, the deck the deck is crazy. The deck just drops big monster after big monster after big monster. You know, make a Drago Sack, get some tokens, pop some shit. You know, attack for game. Like, literally, that's like what the deck has been like. I've been testing the deck myself. It's probably the deck I'm going to be using this format. Um, I like the deck in the sense that, I can drop these big beaters. I can, not so much OTK, but I can like control the field and the tempo of the game basically the entire time. A lot of people don't like this deck. It's pretty obvious. It's basically like the way Mermail was. Everyone hated Mermail. Aside from the people who played it, they just said, I'm tired of seeing this deck win. I'm tired of seeing this deck top. And we're basically at that stage again where dragons are going to be easily one of the decks that top every single event because they're good. Dropping big beaters, being able to pop cards with Blaster and other cards like that is really good. A lot of people don't really use the dragons for their other effects outside of dropping them, special summoning them, but they do have a lot of really cool effects outside of that, and you can just really drop game on board like it's nothing. Like, you have these situations where you have a blaster, a title engrave, you banish, you summon both of them, and I mean that's 28 and 26 to the face like immediately. That's ridiculous. Combo with the Drago Sack, and it's pretty much like it's over from there. Other things that's broken about this deck, I mean, deck's very consistent. You run hand traps like Maxi and Valor to go against your opponent, to build up card advantage, and then just to make that push against your opponent that they can't come back from. I think what's also ridiculous about this deck is how amazing, like how much more amazing they've made Big Eye, because Big Eye is what wins you the mirror match. Big Eye is stupid. Big Eye literally, you Big Eye their Big Eye to Big Eye another one of their cards. There have been situations, I know you guys have seen the picture on Facebook, where there were 5 Big Eyes on the board, and that's just, that happens. Like, it's stupid, but it happens. Big Eye literally Big Eyes everything that Big Eye can Big Eye. Anyways, that's one thing. That's why Big Eye is so ridiculous. A lot of the main decks of the format use Big Eyes, so it's really good. And Drago Sack is just stupid busted. Like, let's face it, you drop a 2600, you bring out tokens, the big sucker's safe, and then you pop cards with it. It's really, really good. So easy to do. That's what I think what makes E-Dragons bust, is that they just drop a 7, overlay, and make a 7. It's very easy. It's very linear. But outside of that, there is a lot of plays the deck makes that a lot of people are discovering that, can make the deck not as linear. But let's face it, you draw big beaters, overwhelm your opponent, and win the game. So right now, I feel that Dragon Rulers, if we're going to call it that, is going to be the best deck for the current format right now. Followed very, very closely by Prophecy. When this deck came out, a lot of people just overlooked it. They're like, all right, it's a bunch of books, cool. You drop a 2500, cool. Uh, Everyone overlooked it, and then as the deck started to get support, like Spellbook and Masters, other stuff like that, they realized that the deck it was starting to get really good. And then the release of Judgment Day, obviously, Spellbook and Judgment just made the deck, like, skyrocket. Everyone wanted to play it. Everyone wanted to, you know, get a hold of 2 or 3 of these Spellbook of Judgments and just, open with it and just literally proceed to shit on their opponent. I've played against the deck with Spellbook of Judgment. It's insane how fast the deck goes. I literally was overwhelmed at how fast the deck goes because activate Judgment, tune table, whatever version they're running. It doesn't even matter. They can go Spellbook of Secret, Spellbook of Wisdom, whatever the hell the combo is, and literally just proceed to thin out their deck by like 6 or 7 cards, and just it's ridiculous. Where they go into Justice, they get Priestess, they get Jaugen the Spiritualist, whatever it is, and just proceed the next turn after that just to like kill you is just ridiculous. The deck has a lot of potential. I feel the deck is definitely up there with E-Dragons for being one of the best decks in the format. One thing about both these decks is that they're very expensive. These decks are ridiculously expensive. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, look at the prices right now. Priestess, $125 for the high price. And if you look at Drago Sack sitting at 183. Jesus Christ, I'm not even gonna complete that sentence. That's just stupid. But that's how it goes right now. Spellbooks are definitely right behind E-Dragons as being one of the best decks. Hands down, as you guys can see, how they perform at these regionals and events so far. Followed in third place is definitely Evilswarm. This is the deck I actually like. I really like Evilswarm. I thought this was going to be the deck I was going to play myself, but I decided not to. Everyone said that this would be the deck I would like because of its, ability to run Rescue Rabbit. And, for the longest time that was true. I don't know what it is. I have not given in and actually played this deck yet. I played against it more than anything, like to see how my matches go. I really do like this deck. I like the fact that it can safely make an Ophion pretty easily turn one. I've been noticing just like a lot of people are not having trouble making that card at all. Caster really adds a lot of consistency. Magigora, I don't even know how to say this. I call it Kakarot, but Kirikeon, whatever its name is, added something great to the deck, and it just really the deck has a lot of potential. I feel the deck is great. The deck can lock out both of these decks, can lock out Prophecy and can lock out Elemental Dragons very easily by making an Ophion. Ophion in Safe Zone is ridiculous. Ophion and just like Ophion and deck lockdown, Ophion and like all these things can really just make this deck easily creep up to be like the #1 deck of the format for the fact that it's anti-meta. It's really anti-meta in the sense that it goes against Priestess, it goes against the E-Dragons, and it literally just needs like 2 cards to make that possible, and then just they get the Pandemic, they're protected from stuff, and they're good to go. Ophion being also 25-50 can also be a problem. That extra 50 is literally, I don't think people understand, like, it sounds like, okay, it's 50 points difference. That is a lot. It's a lot more than people think because it just literally can, be a blowout. Your monsters are strong, their monsters are stronger. Dress makes the deck really good. A lot of cards make the deck really good. I don't really need to explain it. I think a lot of these cards just add a lot of potential. Like I've said before, I think Thunderbird is one of the best cards in all of the game. I think this card is ridiculous. It's one of my favorite cards in all of the game. Definitely a crazy deck. Definitely the anti-meta deck choice for people who are not going to shell out for Prophecy or Dragons. Definitely Evilswarm. The deck's really good. I can't deny that. I feel it's easily in the top 3 for best decks of the format. And the 4th deck of the format, not to be ever forgotten, is Mermail. Mermails, whatever version of Mermails, or Water, if you want to call it, that people run. The OCG has just recently gone to Abystius, and it's already started to top again out there. I don't know if that's going to be a continuing trend because a lot of people have been saying, everyone's playing Dragons, everyone's playing Prophecy, everyone's playing Evilswarm. Like, how does Water, have a chance? Everyone is quick to think that Water is outclassed, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think that's one of the dumbest statements I've heard in the longest time. I've been an advocate for the deck for a long time. Even though I wasn't someone to play it, I felt the deck was crazy for the fact that it could get out of almost any situation possible and could just net back its advantage that it lost from being countered. And that's something I'm still going to say about this deck, is that the deck does that the best. The deck literally, Abyss Sphere is just ridiculous. Abyss Sphere, Megalo, Ditch Dragoons, Ditch whatever, is just still one of the most ridiculous things that this deck can do, and I feel that it's definitely not to be knocked out. Ophion was not the end of this deck. Everyone said the minute Ophion comes out, it's over for Mermail. It's not. Pike has slowly become one of the best cards in the deck, if not the best card in the deck. that little rare, that little 1600 rare has become like literally the engine of the deck, the heart of the deck to get past cards like Ophion. And I feel that that gives the deck a lot of potential. So I definitely would not rule water out. They're starting to main deck title, giving them even more plays, giving them more access to 7 so that they can make Gaios. Gaios is still broken, you guys. Gaios is ridiculous. Gaios is a walking skill drain. 2800 locks out a lot of plays that the opponent can't do. They're not able to attack over it. It just gives a lot of just brutality that the deck needs. And once again, they can make Big Eye too. It's not a thing that they can't do. 3 of these decks right here can easily make Big Eye, and that gives the deck, just a lot of synergy against these other decks of the format. And for the 5th deck of the format, I left it blank. The reason why I left it blank is because it could be anything, honestly. I've been thinking about it, and everyone says it could be Rabbit, it could be Fire Fist, it could be whatever, it could be Dark World, it could be anything. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. That's the other part of this video. Is I want you guys in the comments below to comment with you what you guys think is uh should make the last slot for the best top 5 decks of the format. I feel that these 4 decks, they're self-explanatory why they're good. They're self-explanatory why they made the top 5 cut. But what I want to know from you guys is, what do you feel the next deck in line is? What do you feel that deck could be? I personally like Template Gadgets. I think Template Gadgets have a lot of potential. Granted, they're not as fast as some of these decks, but I just like the deck. I've always liked gadgets. I've always liked machines, and I've always liked decks like that rely on the little recruiters and then, just drop Brute Force and Machina Fortress. That's one of the decks that you guys could throw out there. You guys could throw out Windups. You guys could throw out Insectors. Insectors have been topping a lot recently. You guys could throw out once again, Dino Rabbit. Everyone says Dino Rabbit's done. I kind of feel the same way, but I still feel the deck is still good on some levels. There's a lot of other decks that people are just beginning, just to rule out, and I feel that that is always the mistake people make in this game, is that ruling out a deck when the format is just kind of starting up again, and ignoring it can be the difference between you winning against the match and losing against the match. I feel Dark World's another deck that people are quick to rule out, but they forget how easily they have access to EEV, how easily they can EEV people. That's one thing. Eradicator Epidemic Virus is going to be one of the most ridiculous main deck, side deck cards of the format. That's definitely one of the most brutal cards in the game right now. It shits on so many decks, especially Prophecy. Call spells, it's over. Against trap heavy decks, call traps, it's over. It really has a lot of potential, this format. Other decks that you guys can throw into here are Heroes. I love Heroes too, Fire Fist, etc. That's all I want to know. Is in the comments below, let me know what you guys feel is the next in line deck for the top 5 decks of the format. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope this gave you guys just like a general insight of what's to come for the next couple of months. I would not rule any deck out, though. I would not say that any deck is completely and totally done, because as you guys have seen before in past formats, whenever someone thinks that a deck is done for, is locked away forever, it comes back and creeps up on you and surprisingly does well, and I feel that that can happen at any time in this game. So anyways, comment below with your thoughts. I'm sure a lot of you don't care for dragons, a lot of you don't care for Prophecy, but talk about the decks that you feel have potential this format, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just thumbs it up, and thank you for watching.